Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Senior Living. Hope everyone had a very happy and safe 4th of July. There were so many events to choose from. I'm sure that we all enjoyed one or more of them. If nothing more, I heard a lot of people were planning to climb up on their roof and watch the fireworks from as far away as they could watch them. So we hope that everybody did enjoy that. And now that 4th of July has kind of, the excitement of the celebration of the independence of America has kind of subsided. You'd think that maybe we'd all just kind of lay back a little bit and relax, but of course not. There's so many things going on throughout the Verde Valley. Today we wanted to talk a little bit about, there was a very, very unfortunate incident on December 14th, 2012, when 26 people lost their lives at an incident in Sandy Hook. That incident created a lot of outpouring, a lot of help for many people that went to those folks in Sandy Hook as they dealt with the tragedy that had fallen upon them. But it also inspired many, many other acts of kindness. And one of those happens to be right here in the Verde Valley. And our very first guest is going to talk a little bit about acts of kindness that was created as a direct result of a very inspiring news report. And I'm going to let our first guest, Ken Rouse, he's the owner of Marketplace Cafe in the village of Oak Creek, and one of the inspirations for this great nonprofit organization. Ken, welcome to Senior Living. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Pam. Good to be here.
Good. I typically go through the newspapers and try to see what's going on. And I have to admit that although your effort started back in February, I didn't actually see the Acts of Kindness program until just a week or so ago. And I felt a little embarrassed by the time you explained it all to me. And I would love, I think that the story of how you got this kind of kick-started is pretty inspiring, and I was wondering if you'd share it with us.
Absolutely. I'm excited about sharing it with you. I think we were all devastated when we heard the news that 20 children and 6 adults died in this tragic event at Sandy Hook Elementary School. But something happened for me that just transformed the whole thing. My general manager, Steve Kemp, is not a guy who gets tears in his eyes very often. But when he heard the appeal that Ann Curry issued on television for us to focus on our own communities and respond to this tragedy by doing something positive, which she called acts of kindness, to demonstrate that we understand what it means to have a sense of community, to care about each other, children and adults. And she just was challenging us to figure out how to do that in our own communities. Steve said, Ken, we've got to do something. We have to do something. So in February, we had our first Acts of Kindness event. And because it had been an elementary school where the deaths had taken place, we chose our community school, Big Park Community School, as the beneficiary of our fundraising event. We raised over $6,000 in one night by having musicians donate their time, by having merchants in our community donate gifts, by having people buy raffle tickets and then raffling off those gifts, and by having a sponsor who stepped up and made a significant contribution. So it was, in my opinion, successful from the get-go. And we knew that we had to do it again. So what came out of that experience was an awareness that there's another program that also focuses on children. I don't know about you, Pam, but I just don't want to acknowledge that there's hunger in this community. It doesn't seem to equate. But I guarantee you, I've done my homework now. There are hungry people here. There are hungry adults, and there are hungry children here. And what came out of that first experience was our awareness of a program that was being fulfilled by what was called then Verde Food Council, and now has expanded countywide, and it's Yavapai Food Council. And what they were doing was putting food in the backpacks for selected children in the schools who got food during the week. But if they went home and they didn't have food, they came back Monday and they weren't ready to learn.
Right.
And so the backpack program is one where a lot of volunteers and a lot of organizations are involved in it, putting food in the backpacks very discreetly, not making a big deal out of it, but it feeds hungry children on the weekend, and then they come back ready to learn on Monday morning.
Absolutely.
So our second beneficiary for the event that took place in April was the now Yavapai Food Council. And again, we're already at $5,200 or $5,300, so I know we will get to that $6,000 mark again for the second Acts of Kindness program. And it's very exciting to see what's already happened.
Absolutely. Just the results are so demonstrative of how people, all you have to do is ask. They're ready to help. They are really ready to help. You've mentioned the events, which sound like a lot of fun. It's a good positive way to raise funds for good positive causes. And I think that one of the things that impressed me also was not just in putting these events on, but in setting up the program wherein you got sponsors to help make it successful. You created levels of sponsorship, and share with us a few of the local sponsors, the community sponsors that have helped you out with this.
Well, we chose 3 levels: diamond sponsors, platinum sponsors, and gold sponsors. And the amount of their contribution determines the level at which they come in.
Right.
And already Camp Soaring Eagle became a sponsor. Believe it or not, a lady who's not even part of our community. Her husband died a year ago, and Pat Brazil, who has the Brazil Home Services and Training Program down in Phoenix, found out what we were doing.
I love it.
This part of the story is fascinating for me. She asked me more about it, so I began to tell her what we were doing, raising money for this was when we were doing the Food Council program. I was halfway through my explanation of what it was all about, and Pat said, "How do I make out the check?"
Yep.
So you're right, people are ready to respond. Then the Sedona Golf Resort became a sponsor, and Diamond Resorts, the lodging with 4 locations right here in our community, became a sponsor. And at the gold level, Ace Hardware has now become a sponsor, and so has Chevron, right there on our Highway 179, and the Encore Theater. Encore Theater is a new business in our community. They have the Top 10 rock and roll show. By the way, if you haven't been, you need to see this show.
I've heard it's pretty
outstanding.
awesome.
It is absolutely outstanding. So we have sponsors who are writing bigger checks, but we also have people that are writing a check for, we use the number 26 a lot because 26, we have people who are writing a check for $26. At first it was to buy a raffle ticket. The second one was just their ticket to get in the door. And both times we had standing room only.
Ken, we're about out of time, and I do want to invite the members of our community, and when I say that very, very broadly. The Marketplace Cafe, just by virtue of its community-based sense of being there, has been a major invitation in and of itself. But by joining in these fundraisers, by getting a hold of Ken at the Marketplace, stopping by any of these businesses, you can find out more about how you can take part in the fundraisers, if nothing else, but how you can contribute otherwise. Again, there is on the website mpcsedona.com. There is more information about the Acts of Kindness program. Ken, just want to say thank you for being here, but thank you more importantly for kicking off such a great opportunity here in our very own neighborhood. Yes,
Can
sir.
I tell you what's coming up?
Please
quickly. In October. We're going to do something in the summer, but we don't know what yet. But in October.
It'll be a surprise, so pay attention.
But in October, toward the end, the last weekend in the month, there's already an event to raise money, not for the children in this case, for the senior citizens who have Alzheimer's.
That's true.
I had a sister who lived with Alzheimer's for 20 years before she died. Very near and dear to my heart. There's a walk for Alzheimer's. So the last weekend, instead of just doing one night, we're going to do 2 or 3 days at the end of October. And we're going to join in with the walk, but we're also going to have a fundraising for probably Big Brothers and Big Sisters or some other children's organization, and then the walks. We're going to combine those. And it's going to be a lot of fun for 2 or 3 days. We're going to have a rodeo cowboy with us.
I love it.
My son's probably going to be back to do some speed painting. We're just going to have a lot of fun, and hopefully we raise some serious money for children and for adults.
I'm quite sure you'll be successful. We can help make those efforts successful if we take part in that. Again, thank you for sharing this information with our viewers, and we are going to come back. Hope you'll join us when we come back right after the commercial break. Thank you.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it! I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back, and we are about ready to find out about a great exhibit that's coming to our area, in fact, to the Sedona Heritage Museum. I want to thank Janine Trevelyan. We've had the good fortune of spending some time with Janine at the museum last year over the summer, I believe. And she was kind enough to come back in today to talk a little bit about the Arizona Centennial Quilts exhibit. The Centennial continues on, I guess, huh?
Yes, it does. Well, there were a lot of projects created during 2012, during Arizona's Centennial Year, that are considered legacy projects, and they are going to be preserved forever and go on and help us all celebrate Arizona's wonderful history for a while, and the Traveling Quilt exhibit is one of those.
And rightfully so. I know that the Verde Valley had many legacy projects that were begun in 2012, so it is going to be fun to continue to watch as they still tell our story, which is great. Tell me a little bit about, let's remind our viewers first of all, the Sedona Heritage Museum has so many great opportunities. Just give us like a 30-second sketch of the museum itself.
Well, the museum celebrates Sedona's history and Oak Creek Canyon's history, our pioneers, our orcharding, our movie making history, our ranching history, things like that. But we do have a small amount of space that we do dedicate to traveling shows or changing exhibits, and we try and change those about 3 times a year. So there's always something new to see at the museum.
Right. You have a lot of guests come in, and there's storytelling, and there's all kinds of different special events available.
Special events and educational events that we have throughout the year, and they range from focusing on local artists and crafters to maybe holiday events, or our annual Veterans Day event is kind of the city's official Veterans Day celebration. And we do have educational speaker series, old time arts and crafts demo series. So we have a lot of different things. You can always just call us or look on our website and find out what's new at the museum.
I went to the website. There's a lot of great coverage throughout the Verde Valley, and you can always get information. If all else fails, which it shouldn't because it's out there, but you can call us here at the TV station and we can get you some information. Okay, the Centennial Quilts exhibit has got an awful lot involved. I know I was looking at some pictures earlier, and our viewers will get to see some of the pictures of some of the quilts. But tell us a little bit about the exhibit itself.
Well, about 3 years ago, the Arizona Historical Society, the Arizona Humanities Council, and the Arizona Quilters Hall of Fame got together and decided this would be a good Arizona Centennial project. So they went out to quilters all over the state and encouraged them to make special quilts. So now those quilts were on display all of last year, 2012, at the Arizona Historical Society, and now they're traveling. So we have 9 of the quilts out of the 100 quilts that were designed, many of the quilts have gone home to be permanently part of their quilters family, but some of them have been allowed to travel, so we have some. The quilts, a lot of the quilts are art quilts, which is a lot of fun because people put a lot of time and creativity and just really interesting and diverse pieces that they do, very creative. And then we do have a couple of quilts that are very traditional too. One of the traditional quilts was a quilt that was started in the 1930s, put in a box under Mom's bed, and finally, in honor of the Arizona Centennial, the daughter pulled it out from under her bed and finished the quilt. And it's now on display, and that's a Yavapai County quilter.
That is so fun.
Fun story.
It was described in the article that I read as kind of a jigsaw puzzle quilt.
Yes.
And then there's another one that's a balloon type. That looks like a vintage postcard.
Yeah, there's another quilter who was in Arizona on a family road trip in the 1950s, and she collected all these Arizona postcards. Well, those are now vintage postcards, and she was inspired by her Arizona vintage postcard collection to make a quilt that looks like a vintage postcard.
That is so, it's just amazing to me. So there are 9 of these quilts in this special exhibit. The exhibit is open now.
The exhibit is open now until through the end of the first week of September, and the museum's open 11 to 3, 7 days a week.
One thing that I'll just remind everyone, because I know it happens to me, it's the beginning of July, the first week of September. Oh, I got plenty of time. You do, but don't put it off.
That's right.
I know.
That's right.
I know how that works. It doesn't go over well. The Sedona Heritage Museum is in Uptown Sedona.
Yes.
Very, very easy to get to, very easy to park, and very, very beautiful. I mean, it's just a great opportunity to kind of get away for a little bit, make an escape, and it's a lot of fun. Over the summer, are there any other great opportunities? I know that the Day of the Cowboy...
The National Day of the Cowboy will
Right.
be in Uptown Sedona on Saturday. I believe that's July 27th. And the museum will be a participant in that event. So there'll be lots of fun things sponsored by the Sedona Main Street program. We'll have representatives there, and so that's a fun thing. So there's always things to do in Sedona, and you know, I don't know how many visitors you get from the Valley of the Sun, but you know, coming north, what a great opportunity in the summer in Arizona.
Well, I know just even the weather here, if you can get an opportunity to visit something that's as much fun and educational and all those things, and in a great location, it's a lot of fun. Okay, the Arizona Centennial Quilt Project on exhibit at the Sedona Heritage Museum through early September, the first week of September. And again, SedonaMuseum.org is the website that you can get all of the details, or call, go on the My Radio Place website. The information is readily available, and hope that you all can make it up there to check it out. Janine, thanks for coming over. We really appreciate it, and giving us all this great information. Hope to see you soon. Hope we'll get back out there and check out some of the other stuff that's going on. And we are going to come right back with you right after these messages.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Welcome back to Senior Living. Thanks for continuing to stay with us, primarily because you're going to want to know about this next event. I've mentioned a couple of times I've been in the Verde Valley now for just about 10 years, and one of the things that I was able to go to shortly after I got here, it continues to be one of my favorites, and it's the Corn Fest in Camp Verde. It's a great opportunity to enjoy everything about everything local. And today we're very, I want to welcome a lady that's been here several times with events going on in Camp Verde, Nikki Miller, and Bobby Tennant with the Camp Verde Promotions. And they're the driving force behind the success of the Corn Fest in Camp Verde. Thanks for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting us.
We'll start off with this. The 22nd Annual Corn Fest will be held July 19th and 20th in downtown Camp Verde. Woohoo!
Yes.
That's pretty awesome. So, first of all, I want to remind our viewers, Camp Verde Promotions is truly a group of Camp Verde of I'm going to say ladies. I know there's you drag some of the guys around to help a lot, I'm quite sure. But you kind of filled the void when there were some events that Camp Verde, the town of Camp Verde, couldn't continue to do, right?
That's correct.
And the Corn Fest was one of them. And so on your own, you just kick these things off and get them going. And I know we talked to you last year, it was Fort Verde Days and the quilt
show.
The quilt show, which was resurrected after not being around for a while. But the Corn Fest, like I say, it was one of those things that I was exposed to fairly early, and it's wonderful. Our own locally grown Verde Valley Hauser corn.
Yes, yes.
All great stuff. So tell us about this year's event. First of all, we've got a couple of weeks before that. Anything that people need to know about ahead of time? Do you have to buy tickets ahead of time? Do you have to do anything like that?
No, that's one of the things that is the nice thing about the Corn Fest is it's free. There are going to be some things that you will purchase. Of course, the corn is going to be purchased, but we're going to have Wild Bubbles, that it's going to be a vendor that is like a walk on water event that they will charge you for that. And we do have a hot air balloon that's going to do tethered rides, and there will be a charge for that. But everything else other than things that you would buy from the vendors will be free. So it's not like you have an admission to come to that. So no, the only thing that we would say is that we would love to have our local vendors that are here from the Verde Valley to come and register with us to be vendors, because we would really like to show off the Verde Valley. And we do have some fantastic artists around that do very good stuff.
Yeah, it's really true. I know that in the past there's been the corniest joke and
the corniest joke last year that won was what's a Corn Fest without corn? Because we quit getting corn because of the weather. We got rained out last year. We actually had the monsoons both days, and right before we got hit the 6:30 on Saturday, we ran out of corn. So the corniest joke was, what's a Corn Fest without corn? And so we had to laugh about that. Yes, we do have the corniest joke.
Okay, yeah. There are a couple things. There's going to be some music.
Yes.
Do we know who we're going to be entertained by?
We are going to have 2 local boys that are going to come from the high school that are going to be there for early on Saturday and early on Friday.
Excellent.
And then we're going to have hired hands for Friday night, and then we're going to have a band called Rewired. Saturday we're going to have a street dance, which we have not done before.
Excellent.
So we're going to give that a shot and see how that goes.
Back in the day, there were a couple of similar kinds of, close the street off and do the street dancing. That ought to be a lot of fun.
We're hoping.
It's some birding excursions. I'm assuming that'll be early in the day, early Saturday probably?
Right.
Right, okay.
And that is something that we would like people to pre-register for, because we have 4 volunteers that are going to take birders around, but they only can take like 10 in a group.
Right.
So we've got our number. We have a new website, which this will give everybody information if I can plug that. It's www.campverdepromotions.org, and it's got all of our information on there. So if they want to do the birding excursion, they can get the information and call so we can get them reserved.
Exactly. And definitely we know that by mid-July weather can be a factor, so be prepared. It's not anything horrible. I did comment as the ladies arrived today, the t-shirts are very, very awesome. These will be for sale during the Corn Fest, and when you purchase corn, now there is roasted corn that you can purchase and eat right there, correct?
Yes.
And you can purchase corn to take home.
Right.
And when you purchase corn to take home, you need to purchase these handy dandy corn bags that you can carry your corn home in. So, and these will all be available. These are a couple of the items that will be available at the Corn Fest. And again, let's remind everybody, free admission, 22nd Annual Corn Fest, July 19th and 20th. And it begins Friday at 3 o'clock.
Yes.
And runs till 10. And then Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Hauser's fresh corn. Doesn't get any better than that. We met the Camp Verde Parks and Rec coordinator on our last show, and that was one of the first things he experienced, and he still loves. I mean, Hauser's corn is one of his favorite things. So, gotta give it a shot. Website campverdepromotions.org. They have always shared all of their information on myradioplace.com events page. So if you forget one or the other, you can always find additional information. Ladies, what else do we need to know?
Well, we are going to do another fundraiser for us because the Corn Fest is what gives us the money to do Fort Verde Days.
Right.
And if we're not successful with the Corn Fest, then Fort Verde Days is something that we really struggle with. But we're going to do an art show this year where we're asking people in the community that have pictures in their closets that they aren't going to be hanging anymore that would donate them to us. Then we will turn around and use those to sell at the Corn Fest on Friday and Saturday, raising money for us to continue to hopefully do the Fort Verde Days. So if you have any pictures that you want to donate, we are looking for them, and you can call us and we will pick them up, or you can drop them off at Sweet Grace Emporium.
Now, is it paintings or photographs? Do you care? Anything that's framed and can be hung on a wall?
Framed and be hung.
All right.
And we would like to see it be in good quality so that we can turn around and sell it. And if we have stuff that doesn't get sold, we may try to do it again at Fort Verde Days with what's left, or we may donate it to Habitat. So we can go from there.
I want to say that I thought Fort Verde Days came out very, very well last year. You
Thank
did a
you.
fine job.
Thank you.
and I'll put a plug for Verde Valley TV in. We were able to film the parade and air it on Verde Valley Television. Awesome parade. The whole event was really great. Congratulations, ladies. And I'm sure that this is going to be too, and we're looking forward to it. Bobby Tennant, Nikki Martin, Camp Verde Miller, sorry, Nikki Miller, Camp Verde Promotions, 22nd Annual Corn Fest, and we definitely want to encourage everybody to check it out. It's an awful lot of fun. I'm sure we'll see one or both of you ladies back to fill us in on the whatever's coming up for Fort Verde Days, all the super fun for that. And in the meantime, just check out the information. If you have an extra few hours, you can always get a hold of them too and volunteer.
Yes, we love that idea.
Somebody to roast corn.
There we go. And then, you know, maybe one gets dry. I don't know. You need to volunteer. If you've got a few hours, go help out. It's great. We're going to take another real short break, and we will be back right after these messages.
I'm Captain Larry Dawson with the Cottonwood Fire Department, here to talk to you about cooking safety in your home. The #1 cause of house fires today is lack of safety in the kitchen. Always set a timer while you're cooking. If a fire starts in your oven, close the door and turn the oven off. When kids are present while cooking, always use the back burners and keep handles turned in and out of reach of children. Never leave an open flame unattended, and always have a working fire extinguisher nearby.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. You know, I followed your character since the first episode. I'm a big fan, big fan.
Thank you.
And listen, your storyline, it makes for incredible TV drama. Thing is, your drug use is very adult content. Too adult for the kids. So I'm gonna have to block you.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, have a good one.
You're a nice lady.
welcome back to Senior Living. We have gotten to explore a lot of different opportunities that are more of an event happening in the Verde Valley in the next few weeks. Again, in my wanderings and ramblings through some different things that were going on, something caught my eye this last week, and it was a mention of foxtrot classes. I thought, how fun is that? So in exploring a little bit, I was fortunate enough to get a hold of our next guest. And again, I want to welcome the owner, if I may, of Liberty Performing Arts, Rachel Miller. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
This is a very, very new endeavor from what I can tell.
It is. We've been open for 2 weeks now.
Whoa, that's very exciting. So just so that our viewers get to know you a little bit, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started, how you came up with this.
Well, I grew up in Phoenix, dancing at a dance studio that was about to close. My mom decided to take over and ended up running the business. We've been open for 25 years down there, so I grew up doing ballet, tap, jazz, tumbling. You know, you name it, I've tried it. And when I moved up here, I didn't find what I was looking for, so, you know, and I missed dancing. So I decided I wanted to open up a studio.
That's gutsy.
Yeah, it's my passion though. I mean, I've done it since I was little, so I really enjoy it.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, I got to, your performance classes are for all ages. You have everything from ballet, jazz, tap, acro, ballroom, contemporary, and some fun classes that we may have never tried before. I'm going to guess I've never tried any of these before, but just to, first of all, classes for every age. There are a lot of different tumbling tricks. I like the one that was called Cirque de Fun. I like that a lot. Combo classes, just some different, there's some jazz, and there are quite a few classes that are geared toward the kids. Now, or the kid in all of us, whichever may be.
That's true.
Whichever may apply. But even if it's not a class that you may particularly be interested in as you're listening to this, remember the grandkids and the out-of-town visitors, because I would imagine that there's some classes that they can get into and just have some fun.
Definitely.
Right?
We've got a lot of classes for kids, as you said. One of our most popular classes is our hula hoop tricks, which is for all ages. I've got a couple of 3-year-olds in there. I've also got a couple of older ladies, but 3 at heart. Who come in and do some hula hooping with me. We've got a great stretch class for seniors. That's on Thursdays, and I've got some seniors doing that. They said it's a great warm-up, gets their blood flowing. But these foxtrot lessons that you brought up are a new adventure. It's the 4th Friday and the 2nd Friday of each month. Each month it'll be a different type of dance. So this week is foxtrot, next time it'll be salsa, and then we're doing East Coast swing. And
perfect ones.
Yes, the best part about it is you come for a dance lesson and you get to have some open dancing, learn some steps, but then there's also desserts provided by one of my great friends who is an excellent baker.
So you get a little bit of exercise in so you can really enjoy those desserts.
Exactly.
No doubt.
And it's for all levels. You don't have to be an experienced dancer, and the best part about it is you don't have to have a partner either.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Now, is it something that you have to sign up for some number of classes?
No, you don't. You can come to one class. You can come every month. It's up to you. It's just an open drop-in fee, and you can let me know ahead of time if you want to, but like I said, you can always drop in.
Sounds like a plan. It looks to me right now, I'm looking at your schedule, it is on your Facebook page.
It is on our Facebook page.
No
correct.
website yet, but Liberty Performing Arts on Facebook. Found it right away. It was very easy, and all of this information is on there. But it looks to me like you've got a pretty full schedule of classes.
For the summer, yeah, we're offering a lot of different classes, all different ages and styles. It's a great way. Classes are only $5 in the summer, so people can come drop in, try a class that they've never done before. The fall schedule will be starting on August 12th, and there'll be a new classes offered then as well. One of the newest classes that I've had interest in is the aerial yoga. That's what you see on Cirque du Soleil and things with the silks hanging down from the ceiling.
Oh, I know some people that are going to be interested in that.
Yes.
The other thing, Rachel, is that the location, it's very centrally located and very easy for people to get to. 662 East State Route 89A, which is off of 7th Street, I'm thinking?
It's off of 7th Street, which is right between 6th and 12th Street, which are the lights, right behind Bedrock Landscaping and Express Automotive. So very easy to locate.
Perfect landmarks. Nobody misses Bedrock.
Nope.
Everybody knows where that is.
Everybody knows that one, yes.
Exactly. The again, there are a lot of different classes. Various days are, it looks to me like, are busier than others, but second and fourth Fridays are various dances.
Dance and desserts.
Yeah, dance and desserts. I keep forgetting about the best part of it, the dessert. But foxtrot, salsa, country swing, and more to come, I'm sure, at a later date. It is really, really exciting to see a new business like this. We know our target audience, our primary audience right now, is adults of all ages. But I think that it's fun to remember that doing some activities keeps us younger. This is not only an activity that you can do and enjoy. It's not, most of it is not hard on your joints or bones. Yeah. And it's a great social opportunity.
Fun. Right. Come hang out, meet some new people, you know, do a little bit of dancing. There'll be all levels, so there's no worry about if you've danced before or not danced, but definitely all levels, all ages. So
sounds like a lot of fun.
It's going to be a great time.
Liberty Performing Arts, right off of 89A behind Bedrock, and available, all the information is available on the Facebook page, and we're going to talk her into making sure she gets some of it, or at least some of the class times up on my radio place, so one place or the other you'll be able to check out everything that's going on at Liberty Performing Arts. Rachel, best of luck. I'm so excited for you. I think this is an awesome opportunity for all of us. And I'm maybe gonna have to come down and check out the dessert. So hopefully we'll see you.
Great desserts.
Okay, all right. Right after this break, we will be back with lots more going on in the Verde Valley. Stay tuned.
Having a fire escape plan is very important to keep your family safe and together in the event of a fire. When you awake to the sound of a smoke detector and smoke in your room, don't stand straight up. Carefully roll off your bed and stay low under the smoke. If your door is shut, feel the door with the back of your hand. Slowly open the door if no heat is felt. Always stay low until you get to the outside of your home. Always have 2 ways out of your house and a specified meeting place somewhere outside your home. Home escape plans should be drawn up and rehearsed on a regular basis. This could be the difference between life and death if caught in a fire.
Hey guys, thanks for coming.
Are we in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble. I just want to set some ground rules.
Like what?
Well, remember last week when you hit Vinny in the head with the shovel?
I do not recall that.
Of course not. Well, it was pretty graphic. Too graphic for the kids. So I'm gonna have to block you.
You know, I gotta make this up to you. This is Vinny's watch, and I want you to have it. You deserve it.
Thank you. That's really not necessary.
No, come here.
The art of quilting dates back to early Egypt and China. By the 11th century, they were using quilted garments to go underneath armor, to be petticoats, primarily, as I learned today, because the weather in Europe had become so cold because of frozen rivers. They needed that warmth. But whether it's for warmth or decoration, to document your past history, give you clues about your family, your heritage, there's a lot of opportunity. In the early 20s here in America, quilting was necessary. That's how many people made their garments or decorated their homes. And again, as I learned today, by 1976 there was a huge resurgence in quilting because of the bicentennial. We are going to explore a little bit of the options, whether you've quilted before or not, and we are here today with Mary Beth Grosetta, owner of Quilters Quarters. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for taking your time to explain some of the possibilities to us.
There's lots of possibilities, you know, whether you wanted to make a memento quilt. Lots of people make t-shirt quilts now, or they make a baby quilt for that first baby or for the first grandchild or the second or third, or sometimes they just want to decorate their home and make a little wall hanging. I just finished a beginning quilting class, and one gal was making for a grandchild, one was doing something for her wall, and the other three were doing it just because they wanted to learn the art of quilting.
There is a little bit of learning to do. It is definitely a craft as much as an art. There's some things to learn. There are lots of class options available, lots of ways that people can get involved, and some of them are right here at Quilters Corners. There are many throughout not only the Verde Valley but northern Arizona. But tell us about, would you have to know how to sew before you came to learn how to quilt?
Not necessarily, although we do pick up some people that were clothing sewers, and just a gal today said, oh, I've only made clothing, and then decided that she might want to make a quilt. We can introduce them to a sewing machine. That's not a problem. And you know, making a quilt is very basic, so we can do that. And we also do some sewing classes of clothing. That's picked up. There are a number of people still sewing clothing, but our primary focus is the quilts.
And from what I can tell, there are classes or different opportunities for people of all ages.
There are. At times we have classes for the very young. We love it when we grab like an older lady who's never quilted, and then she comes in and starts to quilt. There's one lady that comes, she just picked it up the other day. Now she came out of a sewing background, and she's just going great guns. But all ages, this can work. We have a few men quilters too.
Wow, good.
You know, primarily men think of it as kind of a sissy thing, but it really isn't. You know, all it is when you're using the sewing machine, it's just like using the lawnmower or anything else. I have a fabulous repair person, and he just loves it. He loves repairing the machines. His wife is a quilter.
So bottom line is, whether it's a younger person that's just learning from scratch or whether it's the old dog, you can teach them some new tricks. Is that right?
You sure can. Speaking of dogs.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
Well, we just finished a quilt for the Adopt for Life Center, and it was 12 kind of comedy dogs with glasses and button eyes, and it's a really cute quilt. And we made that with customers and staff, and we donated it to them, and they're raffling it off. And there'll be 2 more. We have one with cats, and that will be for the Jerome Humane Society, and then another one with dogs for the local Dog Agility Club. And this just came out of kind of a real fun thing called the Dog Days of Summer last summer. But you know, see, it's taking us quite a while to get these finished.
But that just opens up a whole nother set of possibilities in terms of why somebody might want to quilt. Yes, you can make beautiful decorations for your home, or you can create a nice comfy cozy quilt to curl up on the couch with. You can also benefit some other organizations and people.
You can.
You've done others more than just the
more than that. And we're also, you know, we've donated to various things. One of the things that we're most proud of, we made about 60 or 70 little head coverings for the cancer center in Sedona. After the gals don't have hair, they need something soft and lovely to wear, and so we just did it on one of our machines out of a real stretchy fabric. And then the last 5 years I've made a quilt myself with the help of my staff for the Yavapai Cattle Women. And we raffle that off every year for money for our scholarships. I also belong to that group, so it is sort of second nature.
Absolutely.
But, there's just, you know, there's all kinds of opportunities.
It sounds like it. One of the things that I just became familiar with, you've educated me tremendously in the few minutes that we've been here today, but there is a shop hop, and at first I didn't quite get it, but that for people especially that aren't familiar, it sounds like a fun fun week or 10 days to get familiar with some of the quilting opportunities.
It is. And the nice thing for us old dogs, as we said, we don't have to hop.
Oh, I like that a lot.
You get in your car and you drive to the 7 stores that are part of the Northern Arizona Shop Hop, and you take advantage of opportunities. Each of the stores will have a discount, and they usually give a gift. You have to buy a passport, but at the end, when you visited all 7 stores and got your passport checked, then you leave your passport and it goes into a big drawing. And we have a great big basket full of goodies and gift certificates. Each store provides a basket, and then some of our national vendors gave us things that we have 3 incredible. So we've got 10 baskets, 7 stores, 11 or 12 days. Most stores are open on Sunday except for the one in Flagstaff.
Sounds like a great opportunity to get out and visit and check out all of the options. As we've been saying, there are so many possibilities with all of this. You can check out all of the quilting options throughout the entire Northern Arizona. Mary Beth, thank you for taking your time, for lending us your store, all the beautiful quilts here on the wall and many more throughout the store. You can create your own, whether it's to document some family history or just make something beautiful and colorful. You need to check it out. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to join you back in the studios right after this.
Thank you.
Had a real good friend who turned from love and then a sin, but she didn't want me back. So I had to get away or just start digging my own grave, 'cause I couldn't stand the past. You wanna see my scars? That's something that I lack. I've always been running away from a long war, a good fight, or just day-to-day pain. I've always been so ashamed of where I am, where I'm going, 'cause it's all the same.
All right. Senior Living viewers, welcome back. Sean Williams, thanks for coming back and being with us.
Thanks for having me.
You have been an awful busy young man since the last time you were here, and lots of positive things going on for you. Tell us a little bit about what you've been up to.
Well, I've been trying to pursue music full time, and it's been all right. It's been good. This weekend or next weekend on the 29th, Saturday the 29th, I'm playing the Flagstaff Folk Festival at the Coconino County Center for the Arts. And I've been playing this last year. I played a few of them. I played the Glendale one. I played the Flagstaff last year. And so I got the Flagstaff coming up, so it'll be my second year on the 29th.
Pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. The one thing that's still consistent is you're hosting. You're still doing some local stuff, although you're getting to spread your wings and get out a little bit. What kinds of things locally? I know you host an open mic night.
Yeah, and so I'm hosting the open mic night, and that's every Sunday from 6 to 8 at the Chase Coffee Plus coffee shop and the Fry Shopping Center. And then on the 5th and the 6th, on the 5th I have a show at the Flower Garden Cafe in Old Town. Then on the 6th, I have a show at Crema.
Oh.
Those are both at 7 o'clock.
We've had some great musicians. Now you're fitting right into all of this. Dave Renz plays down in Old Town occasionally, and there's some great music going on. So you're gonna find your rotation through all of that. That's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Good deal. So we talked a little bit off camera. We kind of bantered a little bit when you were on before about your hallucinations.
Yes.
And they still exist, right?
Yes, they still do.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Are you playing together a lot? You doing a little bit of solo stuff? What direction are you heading?
You know, I don't know the direction I'm heading at all, but I know
I think your song just mentioned something about
Yeah, exactly. But I'd like to do some stuff with some more musicians if the people come and if there's a fit musically and almost emotionally. And so I'm looking for people, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So right now I'm just doing solo stuff, and I've been playing with a friend, Sonny Squibb, and I'm still playing with my dad.
Excellent. Yeah, that's what I think that's where we went with that, was your dad was one of your hallucinations or something. But great opportunities, it looks like, coming up for you. And one of the things that is exciting, I know the Glendale Folk Festival, probably a lot of people down there, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works out pretty cool. And then Flagstaff, of course, is wonderful. A lot of different opportunities. The band, I think, you know, as you're out there more, I guess, you know, just people will be watching and listening to you. If you get a chance, visit Crema. Go check out the Flower Garden Cafe. Has been having some great local musicians that have been popping in there. I know that another local band, Levis and Martinez, they're going to be there. They've been there a couple times, and it's a great little venue to sit back and enjoy some music. There's many of them in Old Town, but that's one of them, and that works out really well. What else, Sean? What else is going on in your life? Are you just trying to focus and get your career going?
Yeah, I really am. You know, I'm always writing songs, and that's a constant in my life no matter what. So there's always new songs coming out of the works. And in August, I'm going on a sort of a tour with this band. We were there all the way up to Chicago, and that's going to be like a 2-3 week tour. And the gigs, I'm not scheduled for every gig, but I'm going to be booking shows at those gigs that they're playing. So that's something really exciting that they have coming up, and it's going to be fun to travel with these guys and see the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You just mentioned something that if, you know, as you're developing, do you have any plans in the works for another CD soon, or is it going to be after you get done with all of this?
It's a thought. I have enough songs to do a new album, and it's more of just figuring out the timing and when I should do it. I think it'll be sometime after September, or maybe before that if I can buckle down and get it done within a week and produce it really quickly.
So anybody that's out there, Sean, there's a Facebook page.
Yeah.
Bug him. Just, you know, give him a little swift kick so that he gets that stuff done. That'd be great. Sean Williams, without his hallucinations today, but we are always happy to have you in studio. Wish you much success, which you are certainly beginning to enjoy, deservedly so. And I think that our audience deserves to hear another song. What do you think?
That sounds great. Thank you, Pam.
Thanks.
So this one is off of the first CD that I have, the only CD I have out right now. It's called Heart Attack. This is about a trip I took to LA.
Heart attack.
Smoke my grass, have a heart attack. Gonna blow my mind inside this shack. All alone, no one's home. I feel like a dog without a bone. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. church to get baptized. Didn't realize I'd be crucified. Carry your cross was what they said. Nail me up, I can raise from the dead. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Broken heart and dark-minded, I find comfort in my sin. You ask why you have to die, I ask when I'll get to live. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.